We are now
Welcome
live.
back, everybody. We're going right to the next match. A little bit of update for you in case you're wondering what just happened and you have a little bit of whiplash. Unfortunately enough, the server that they were playing on wasn't working. That game was not going to go out, so we're going right into the next round. This time around, it's going to be a little bit more exciting here. SK Gaming versus the one, the only EloFishers, and it's a very even matchup here. Actually, looking at the seeding points, it's going to be seed 9 and seed 8 going head to head. Now we know that EloFishers actually done quite well for themselves moving forward into the semifinals at least once, and kind of controlling the zone as it's been going forward for them the last 7 weeks of competition. But today they really have to prove themselves by going through Exposed Secrets. And for those of you who don't know Exposed Secrets, there's a lot of friendly names on that team actually. Zalia, Shadow Nightmare, Frostiak, Dazer, all these kind of people that have been known for so long in the competitive scene of Smite on the European side of things are actually on Exposed Secrets. So definitely a tall task for EloFishers, even though they've certainly been playing very well.
Exposed Secrets are like the old guard, aren't they, Drybear? Like, they've been around for a very long time. Everybody knows their name. When they get in your game, you know you're going to have a good game. The likes of I'm Dazer, Zalia, Frostiak, as you said. And these are really good teams. So we'll see if Exposed Secrets can actually come out ahead of EloFishers. Now, EloFishers as well, Drybear, are one of these teams that can perform very well, but they like to have a lot of fun with their gameplay. And as we saw last week, they did pick up, they picked up the bug, and someone wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the same thing, right? Where we saw, I5 experiment very intensely 2 weeks ago. They ended up doing a Osiris Naja lane, which of course is vastly different than what we're used to. And it's great to experiment, but at the same point, these teams are fighting for top seed. They're fighting for the chance to go to the huge land coming up pretty shortly here in just about a month and a half or so. And, it's really important that you get every single seeding point you possibly can. As you can see, I5 is 7 points ahead of Agilitas in 4th seed. They're barely holding on to 4th seed, so if they had picked a little bit more competitive lineup, they may have had a little bit more seeding points that week in the row. And so this time around, we're going to see them going up against Exposed Secrets. And so what they decide to go for is interesting. We see a Loki ban, we see a Mercury ban, we see a Hunbots ban, and a Kumbhakarn ban. That means that Thor is available. That means Hercules is available. That means that so many characters that are so strong in the early stages and are easily picked up. There's the Hercules first pick, in fact.
I actually think Thor's going to be a really big pick in this one because he's one of the only assassins really left on the table that everyone seems to contest heavily over. Bastet is still available, and I still think Bastet is very strong.
They love Osiris.
However, Osiris got through, and with Hercules, Hercules been locked in right now. But guess who else got through? Scylla got through.
Hercules. Well, I have to consider the fact that Arachne got. I can't even say it. I was going to make a joke, and I couldn't even joke about the bug. I couldn't even say it. I couldn't say it. Couldn't even say it. Janus and Osiris locked in first here for EloFishers. Exposed Secrets, they've got Hercules, Thor, and it looks like Scylla going to be locked in as well.
Drybear. Janus got picked over Scylla.
Yes, he did.
Scylla was 5th pick.
Bugsy?
What?
Bugsy? Bugsy? Don't you do it. Don't you do it,
2.
Bugsy. Don't you do it. No, don't you do it. You switched that. You switched it. Oh, okay. Okay. Good, Bugsy.
He went for the Neef, so there's the Hunter picked up for them. Mid lane is a side with Scylla and Janus. Hercules probably going to be in the solo lane as well, so we're into the ban phase once again, and Hunter and Guardian left on the table mainly for Exposed Secrets. You can have Hercules support nowadays, though. It is viable and can be very strong if you can land those Earthbreakers. It's going to be an Artemis ban, which I think is a good decision from EloFishers, especially when you pick up someone like Neith.
Yeah, Neith's a great choice here. Locking a lot of single target characters. Thor being locked in, Scylla being locked in means that those ultimates are going to be so valuable when you try to lock. If Thor goes in with his ultimate and uses his hammer for damage, that Neith ultimate is going to be incredibly valuable. Now, the bans are coming through here. Artemis is going to be banned out. They have Neith already. They don't want to deal with the high single target damage of Artemis. She's quite scary mid and late game. So they're going to.
I love EloFishers just because it makes you upset.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because if this was anybody else, I would say, oh, they're just playing. But when it's EloFishers, I'm like, there's a possibility they're going to pick it. And then all of a sudden, they're just, it's the bug, okay? Okay, they've got Thanatos on. There's another bug. They just like bugs. They just like bugs.
Oh,
there's Sun Wukong. He's going to locked in here. Okay. As Sun Wukong got hit,
it's Daisy's turn.
Restructure.
It's Daisy's turn. I love this. Loving you. I love you.
It's the Ripple Ripple
Rachni. They're going to do it to you all day now.
Ripple Rachni. Well, good. I hope they lock it in to lose the game.
Wow. Shots. That's just mean.
That's right.
What if they win?
Right.
What if they win with it?
They won't.
Then what?
They won't. It's impossible.
Possible. Someone in EU has to prove him wrong today, please. EU, step up and show him he is wrong.
I welcome it.
Arachne wins a game. Confirmed. Happened. Then you should have a 50% win-loss ratio in the tournament. That's pretty good, right?
That is
Apollo!
So Athena being picked up along with Apollo. It's not going to be so bad. They did choose Athena.
Wow.
Finally.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry, I'm ahead
Athena.
of time.
Gosh.
I was with Tim all this time. It's this ghostly apparition thing. It
Tim.
allows me to see into the future.
Oh, how is Tim?
Tim's not bad. He's doing okay.
Is he full of holes?
He's not really full. No, he's
Everything
not full
goes through him.
Everything does go through him, but he by what he means by go through him, everyone says, "Do you mind if I go through here?" And Tim's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Just come to me with your questions, and I will answer it for you."
Oh,
Right.
is he like the secretary or?
He is. He's like a janitor-esque sort of.
Oh,
person.
okay. Sure. So he's
Yeah.
like mopping the floors, and you're like, "Hey, do you mind if I step all over it and make it dirty?" And
He's like,
always
"Yeah, no
"Yeah."
problem. Just not on that bit because that's still wet, but the other bit's fine. You can go over there.
Oh,
There's no
I
problem. I've
see.
not done that bit yet."
All right. Well,
That's how it
There you
works.
go.
Tim.
Well, all right. Well, Tim. Well, Freya's going to be locked in last year for EloFishers. So the lineup for them is going to be Janus, Osiris, Neith, Sinukong, and Freya. It's going to be Sinukong in the support role. It's going to be Freya in the jungle, Janus in the mid lane, Neith laning up with Sinukong, and of course Osiris is going to be played in the solo lane there. So a very, very strong showing from them. We know Osiris is going to be quite powerful, and Janus is there as well, but looking at this, there isn't really a whole lot of glue on the side of EloFishers. There's nothing really holding this together. They have a lot of single skirmishes that work well for them. Osiris is great in small numbers. Yanu is great in small numbers. Same thing goes for Freya. But it doesn't seem to me like they have a really great combo AOE potential or a lot of synergy between the characters they have here. But if they start winning early, I mean, it's going to be out of control. All these characters scale very, very quickly and very well. Across the way, Hercules, Thor, Scylla, Athena, and Apollo. A little bit more synergy here, actually a lot more synergy. Thor with great teamfight initiation, Athena with great teamfight initiation, Scylla with lots of AoE and single target damage with a good root AoE, Apollo, great rotation power and split push, and Hercules, very durable and very strong in the solo lane. Honestly, this is a more typical lineup that we're used to seeing in the way that they have a lot of backup potential, they have a lot of forward potential, and certainly a lot of synergy between the characters and teamfight potential while also having single target damage. And we'll see what EloFishers can do with this.
I mean, both teams here on paper want to fight. That's all they want to do. They want to scrap completely and honestly. The one thing EloFishers have an advantage over is their mobility with the portals and the map presence, with the likes of Sun Wukong being able to move around very, very quickly. You've got Freya as well, who can the Valkyrie to give her increased mobility as well as get some free damage off. On top of that, you've got the World Weaver from Neith. On the other side, though, Exposed Secrets do have that amazing, as you said, AoE presence. So in teamfights, they're going to be a lot stronger, but EloFishers definitely want to scrap too.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to find out if they can scrap properly on either side here as we go to a brief break, and we'll be right back with the round of 16 Exposed Secrets versus EloFishers. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. The round of 16 is underway. Exposed Secrets versus EloFishers taking place right here, right now. Let's cover who's playing what and where they're going. The 5-man killer cell. Exposed Secrets, the bottom side of the map. I'm Dazer on Athena, Frostiak on Thor, Barn on Apollo, Zalia playing Hercules, and Shadow Nightmare on Scylla.
On the other side of the map, we're going to see EloFishers. Getfish is going to be in the jungle on Freya. Bugsy's supports Sun Wukong. Flurry Q is on Neith. Wolfie, without the O, is playing Janus. And finally, Resterian is going to be in the solo lane on Osiris.
Ooh, well, a good start for them. They're looking for something, but EloFishers isn't even out of the jungle yet. They're just sitting back. Looks like they're kind of, I don't even know. I mean, there's still Sun Wukong in the base. Freya's still sitting at tier 2 tower. So unfortunate enough for Exposed Secrets, they look for something. They're not going to find anything because no one's even heading out to the jungle just yet. Looks like they're now setting up to do their normal start across the way. Blue buff start here for Exposed Secrets on the left side, right side. Damage solo, single target on the mid camp, and of course the right side blue buff will be taken as Hercules rotates over. But Scylla actually getting picked after Janus is interesting, right? Because we'll see how this works out for them.
Not just after Janus, he was picked 5th. Hercules was picked ahead of it, Osiris was picked ahead of it, and so was Janus. So that says a lot about what EloFishers think about Scylla. And look at that damage that he just got taken from that crush from Wolfie. He just took a lot. He's down to half health already. Should be able to regen it quite quick, though.
Left side clearing out here, the shield wall on the ground. No big harassment coming out just yet. Blue buff will be soloed on the right side and finish up just in time. Looks like they're not going to miss too much. Actually, they only missed 1 minion on the solo lane for EloFishers, and so they're going to be keeping up just fine with Zalia and Frostiak as they clear out the wave here.
Right hand side, you're going to see Thor and Hercules pushing into tower very, very early on. Freya's wave clear during the early stages is a little bit weaker. Obviously, as well, you're going to see Osiris who's going to want to play that very, very safely during the early stages until he can get himself going.
Left side taunt coming out here on Bugsy. Harassment coming down very heavily here as he's forced away. Remember, if you tweet out hashtag SWC on Twitter at Smite Pro, you'll have an opportunity to have your tweet shown on screen here as we go through the long, long process towards the Worlds tournament at the end of the year, or starting the start of the new year, I should say, in 2015.
So as we look at it now, Thor is the first one to leave the jungle, looking for an opportunity in mid. Frostyak's going to probably try and jump over the wall with the hammer here, but Wolfie, being aware of this due to the ward in the pit, just backs off nicely. It's very, very smart play from Giannis.
Right side 1v1 coming down here as we're starting taking a lot of harassment from Hercules. The minions are helping out in the fight though, as he pushes him very, very far back. Low HP looking for the Earthbreaker. He's going to go for it. Looks like he can't find the distance, but now Restarian's in a pretty tough pickle here.
Mysterious is going to play safe under the tower for the time being. I mean, having a quick look at what he took, he didn't start with any potions whatsoever. He went for the very quick spike gauntlet, so that's going to make him have to play very, very safe during these early stages. If he actually does get hit by Xaylia, he's going to probably go down.
Left side backpedaling, Apollo clearing that wave out, but looks like the push is on the side of EloFishers, and Neath is completely dominating this lane clear. Shield wall will come out here and make sure the minions will fly airborne and get rid of their...
right hand side, we're going to see Restaurant probably drop down here. He does get hit by the Earthbreaker. There's first blood. Xaylia securing that one solo.
He didn't even have to throw a boulder. That was just pure mistake, poor positioning by Restarian with Osiris. It just completely bullied out. And whether his jungle more often than solo lane is that Osiris' solo lane is not really that strong. He doesn't have the lane control, he doesn't really have the space control, and all he has is his flail to clear the minions out, and so his push is weak as well, and so generally you don't really see Osiris in the solo lane that often, more often than the jungle here, and without the assistance of Gitfisher, it seems like that Xaylia is just going to be in complete control.
Yeah, Restarian need to respect the fact it was Hercules he was laning against earlier on, just at the start of this game.
Well, Hercules didn't even ult.
No, I mean, that's exactly what I mean. I mean, he didn't respect the fact that Xaylia didn't even have to ult. He just got hit by Earthbreaker 2 times in a row, hit by the charge, and that was lights out for Restarian. He's now a level behind of Hercules, who's also gone back. So Xaylia's been back and actually picked up his tier 2 boots. Meanwhile, we see that Restarian's trying to rush these dev...
Forwards up in the air, look for the dunk, gonna find a Bugsy force away. Sun, there's the dunk and the damage. The big heavy hammer takes him out there. First and second blood go to expose secrets. Beautiful play by Thor and great taunt by Dazer as it's coming down.
A lot of that was down to ward coverage as well that you can see from Exposed Secrets. They had that left-hand mid-camp warded from both angles that could be entered from, so they knew Bugsy was alone and committed to it, knowing that the rest of the team was not around. That's a very, very good decision from Exposed Secrets, and it's based off the ward coverage.
Xaylia now pushes this lane out. You can see Restarian is just forced back to his tower. There's not much you can do. And generally what comes from this is that Xaylia can now clear the way safely as Restarian is afraid of him, and then run into the jungle area looking for picks, assisting the jungle, or maybe even a gank on the mid lane. Xaylia will now have control of this lane. There's the Earthbreaker driving strike. Good avoidance of the flail there. He's not going to clear out the wave just yet. He's just zone controlling him now.
I thought I was going to try and rotate from behind. Doesn't have the ultimate available. However, he will have that wall, and if he can land that, it costs him issues. So just force him into tower. Now, the buffs are coming up again, Drybo, and Exposed Secrets are well aware where the speed is, and Getfisher's got to be careful.
Oh man, Earthbreaker driving strike through the wall, actually hits and lungs right through it. Fish is going to land down here. Will they go for it? Looks like they won't. Scylla's going to go over the wall, get an escape. Actually, good awareness here from Exposed Secrets. Going to back off completely. Looks like Scylla is looking to jump on Restarian here as they run over. Giannis throws out that portal, that little shot, the Twisting Nether. Balls of Doom, not going to grab it there. Restarian going back to his lane. They're going to get the movement speed buff and the blue buff here. Devastating.
Yeah, really devastating. It's going to put them further behind in the jungle. Getfisher's not going to be able to do anything about that. And that's just down to quick rotations coming out from Exposed Secrets, realizing the time. And as time goes on, realistically, in the world of Smite, you're going to see people noticing the buff time is a lot more and saying, okay, it is 4 minutes 45 in the game. The buff's about to respawn. We all need to get over there and either defend or attack it.
So yeah, they push the right side up. Restarian still pushed back. I mean, look at the gold difference here. 3,700 or 3,800 here for Xaylia. Across the way, we've got Restarian at 3,100. So it's going to be about a 700 gold differential between the two, and almost like a level and a half, 2 level difference between the two here. So, you know, Restarian having a very hard time controlling the solo lane. Checking on the hunters on the left side of the map, you're going to see Apollo played by Barm at 3,300 gold himself. Across the way, we do have Neat Fluticu to get 3,300 himself as well. So just about, you know, 60 to 70 gold between the two. Looks like they're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Janus as well, actually, in the mid lane, he is the highest gold on his team right now, doing a good job of getting his item build on the go. Got the shoes of the Magi now, so that will increase the penetration of his damage of the Vortex. And that's one thing you want to do as Janus during the early stages, is just farm consistently and look for an opportunity wherever possible as time goes on.
Top damage right now is actually going to go to Xaylia playing Hercules on Exposed Secrets. Top damage for EloFishers ends up going to Osiris. Actually, it looks like top gold goes to Hercules and top kill, but top damage goes to Scylla. So Scylla versus Osiris, I think that's the biggest thing. He's trying to get away here. Thor's going to miss the dunk. He's up in the air. He should be A-OK right now as the mid camps get cleared out. But, you know, that's one of the saving factors for Osiris played by Asterion, is the fact that he'll be able to do damage and contribute to these fights even if he's a little bit behind.
Bugsy's going to be very careful on this left-hand side. He keeps trying to contest these mid-camps and nearly getting himself caught out of position as the whole of Exposed Secrets are grouping on this left side, looking for him every single time, while the rest of his team focusing on that right-hand side camp. Right-hand lane, though, once again, Xaylia's doing some damage, but World Weaver's going to hit onto Xaylia. No, it's not. It connects onto Scylla in mid lane, of all people, as through space and Tim goes through, doesn't connect, and now Restarian's in trouble because Athena is there, and Athena's going to secure the kill. But here's the turn-up. We've got Bugsy in.
Bugsy looking for the dunk, not going to find it there. Xaylia gets on out. Oh, there goes the crush, going to miss, looking for Bugsy. Sikkim doesn't hit either. There's the portal, but he misses the shot on Scylla. Can't get the damage out, and here comes Frostiak from behind.
Frostiak from behind does connect the wall. He's looking for the amount of monster. He's up, but the taunt pulls him out of it. Frostiak going to secure the kill anyway. And a good pick-up from Exposed Secrets once again. Good rotations from their whole team, especially against someone like Janus, who can use that space from time to get his team over there quickly.
2-for-1 exchange, 2-for-0 exchange for Exposed Secrets. It's going to be a 4-0 lead for them as Restarian goes down a second time and Bugsy goes down a second time. Both these players having a very hard start in the beginning of this game, and will have to look to start farming up to get caught up in this match before things get too out of hand. But Xaylia now getting so much gold. He's going to be the top farm in the game by far. In fact, Restarian is now going to be 700 gold behind him, still lagging behind in the experience department as well, and just cannot control this lane very well. The rotation from Athena was beautiful, and honestly, I just need to wonder if he's going to be able to hit exchange here. There's the driving strike and force away. The sun not going to land either, and that will end that. And that's actually, you know, one of the biggest things about Hercules is that anytime Restarian tries to use that stun, he can driving strike him away and then step out.
Yeah, exactly. And if he tries to trade mitigate, wounds comes into play as well. I mean, you're going to see Fisher try and jump in here. The Lord of the Afterlife is popped. There's the slow as well. World Weaver's going to try and connect again. Gets blocked another time, so he's not going to hit Xaylia. But there's Get Fisher looking for the kill. Going to find it. And Athena will. But the dunk from Frostiak was big.
There goes the Berserker Barrage here on Freya. Nowhere to go. The hammer comes back. Doesn't get the backswing, though. 100 damage per shot, but can't get the damage he needs. Scylla's here. Sikkim going to miss. Crush is not, though. Looking for a Wolf. He doesn't have an ultimate. Scylla does not have an ultimate to use. It turns out to be another 2-kill for Exposed Secrets, but this time EloFishers got 1 kill on the board, a 2-for-1 total in favor of Exposed Secrets. Now they're looking to fight back.
They are, but Shadow Nightmare, I've got to give him a big shout out for that because he's rotating as quick as a wolf, as Wolfie on that Janus, and now Janus in a lot of trouble here. Has used the beads already. He's going to try and dodge the ultimate, does, but Frostiak's still there. A lot of damage from the Vortex, but Sikkim connects, and that's going to be a death. No, he misses the back! He's going to survive. The front and back connect did not connect, and now Bugsy's back in this one. Shadow Nightmare's going to use Sentinel.
Looking for the hit. Bugsy wants it, going up in the ultimate. Thor's got nowhere to go, needs to dodge somewhere. Goes for Shenheimer instead. Bugsy doesn't get the kill. Earthbringer gets used. Driving Strike is available if he wants to use it here. Force him by his way. Bugsy goes down. Restarian's in the fight. Popping mitigate wounds. Going to take a little bit of harassment here, but it will heal back up. Driving Strike not available. There's the stun. Looking for the hit. Restarian is committing to this one. Remember, mitigate wounds was active during all that. He should get a lot of this health back here as they're trying to trade blows. But again, a big pickup for Exposed Secrets. Missed the kill on Janus, but Bugsy will go down.
This feels like the week of extended team fights. That's what we're seeing over and over again. Every single time a fight breaks out, the fight continues on and on. And this is down to rotations and the fact that the scrapping so early in the game, the respawns are so low. And people seem to forget that people respawn after dying. And Xaylia got back to that fight and caused a lot of issues.
Is this like fighting games? Do they have stock or?
They seem to have.
Do they always respawn?
They do. Would you believe it?
Every time?
Every single time you die, you do get to respawn. So you can feed as often as you want to.
Wow, that's amazing.
Still come alive to be able to feed again. It's so nice. Left-hand side, once again, Bugsy takes a lot of damage. I wasn't giving shout-outs to anyone there at all. I'm just saying you can feed as often as you want because you respawn. It's great. That's what I do anyway. I feed to win.
You feed to win. Wow, that's amazing. Driving strike right side will force Rosterian back here. Looking at optimization, Frostiak about to finish off his Jotun's Wrath, going to be doing a lot with that. Oh, Lord, so they have to like going in right side. A full committal. Neathul's coming out as well. Needs the rock. There's the rock. There's the hit. Then he survives. He does it. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Neath, the biggest contributor without even being there. The ghostly hand of assistance.
Left side,
Bugsy being forced away.
Oh, the dunk was amazingly timed and perfectly positioned. Does land, and now Fury Q's in trouble as Barn connects with the Across the Skies, and the full disengage is on from EloFishers, but GetFisher is in a lot of trouble. He's got 4 members following him. Can he get back to tower range? Is Frostiak going to have the wall available? Looks like they're going to choose the Gold Fury instead. Better decision.
Gold Fury to start up here. Janus is in the area, and so is Freya. The taunt, the hit, the crush up in the air. Just has a little bit of HP left, and there's the Berserker Barrage waiting for when she lands. There it is. Rampage for Frostiak. 5 kills across the board, 5-0 and 2 on Thor. You never want to feed a Thor early. Looking at his in-hand gold, he's even sitting on 1,400 gold. That's enough to finish off his Jotun's Wrath, and then going into maybe a defense item, so he's just that much more tanky. But he just has so much damage for himself. 32,000 to 27,000. Looking at the charts, we're going to see a 4,900 gold lead for Exposed here with 6,600 experience, which is notably even more impressive considering the fact that, you know, it's been pretty back and forth. No towers have fallen. It's just going to be a large lead in experience and gold from kills and jungle camps.
That's right. I mean, the one thing you've got to look at from Exposed Secret's team composition here is the fact that Scylla is the lowest gold on her team, but still ahead of everybody on the enemy team. As well as the fact that she's 1-0 and 5, I think Scylla should have probably been picked over Janus because she's having a bigger impact.
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said, in the picking stage, there's just not a lot of synergy here. Mid lane, Wolfie taking a huge Thor damage. Good stun from Bugsy, slows it down. I'm a monster over the wall, not going to get the distance, though. Bugsy trying to find Shadow Knight, taking a lot of damage. The crush hits 2. One more shot from Freya might do it. The Sentinel gets the distance. That was off cooldown.
Yeah, really big Sentinel coming out there for Scylla.
Right side, Lords of the Afterlife coming out here. Azalea needs the Earthbreaker, not going to be able to get it off cooldown in time. Rosterian will survive, but like I was mentioning in the picking stage, dude, there's just no synergy for EloFishers. They have a lot of great single characters, but there's nothing that brings them all together.
Rosterian's gone for this Devourer's Gauntlet start, which we discussed at the start, but I'm surprised he's not gone for the chins. It goes so well with Osiris's toolkit that it's really surprising that he's not gone for the chin saves, but pick up at the start of this game and rush that one down. A lot of people nowadays are picking up the chins over anything else in that lane. I guess he's looking for the lifesteal, but he doesn't seem to be paying off as Wolfie gets hit in mid lane again, and Thor dunks down. Frostiak's going to do a lot of damage, and Wolfie's out again. Not going to find anything. That's his first death, though. He's done a good job of staying alive up till then.
You know, Janus really needs to start using that portal more defensively. He's been clearing waves and harassing with the portal, and, you know, that's pretty much his only way to escape a hard gank like that, is he has to be able to portal through a wall and survive enough damage to do it. Bugsy mid lane, Hammer coming out here, force up in the ultimate. He will survive. The decoy will be killed off in short order. It looks like he's going to go back towards his tower, but, you know, I'm surprised to see Wolfie playing Janus, not using that portal a little more defensively, considering how many times he's been ganked.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to do his best to get away from the situation he's in. I mean, portals do help your farm, but keeping it off cooldown, when you get it, you've got to play so relaxed when you're playing Janus, and make sure you don't get yourself caught out, because if you just use your portal randomly, like on the floor, just to avoid one shot of damage, you have to just be patient and use it correctly, use it on the walls to get through them, reposition yourself perfectly. It's a very awesome kit Janus has, but it's very difficult to work out what you need to do exactly when. And it's going to take a long time before we start seeing really epic Janus plays.
Yeah, he's a very delicate and complicated character, but it certainly has a lot of potential, and we're seeing that here as he's favored by a lot of teams, actually even being first picked across the board. Right side, or staring by himself, getting collapsed on by Hercules and Thor. Thor's going up, but does he have the distance? Looks like he won't. A little bit far away there. Oh, the blink, the driving strike. Frostiak's blocking himself out. Hammer, Berserk Barrage coming out here. Does he have an ultimate to get away? It looks like he does not. The rock comes out. The Hammer gets the kill. Fight in mid lane, though.
Yep, Tim, I'm a Monster does go down. Shadow Nightmare misses that. Crush connects, though. Wolfie does find a snipe with the through space and time, but he's not really got healthy enough to really continue the aggression. And Shadow Nightmare goes aggressive with that Sentinel, looking for Wolfie through the tower. Not going to find him, though.
Across the wall into the tower. Not going to find anything. Wolfie kind of hanging out here, looking for the taunt. Taunt, shield wall, reach, hit. Dazer gets the solo kill. Frostiak not even needed. Neath on her way over the mid lane, but it's a 4 versus 1. Bugsy's on his way over as well, but what can they do? This tower is pretty much guaranteed. It's 7,000 gold in the lead already. Taking a very, very strong start here. Exposed Secrets in a great spot to take this match. Gold Fairy will be spawning in about a minute and 45 seconds or so. And once it does respawn, I imagine Exposed Secrets will want to secure this, but given the time frame, it means all 5 players for EloFishers will be up. And here's the problem, right, is that you know, when you have a team like EloFishers, the lineup that they have, they want to be ahead in the beginning because, you know, Freya scales very well, Osiris scales very well, Yanu scales very well, Neath also a very, very strong hunter. The problem is they're not a team fight team. They're not built for that. They have some single combos, obviously the banish into the portal. They have some good combos with the stun with Osiris, and of course the non-healing with single target damage from Freya will stop the mitigate wounds from Hercules from doing a lot. But the problem is that they don't really have a good initiation. They don't really have a good team fight, and so when they're behind like this, what do you do?
I mean, you've got to just continue to farm and play safe. You've got to look for picks because each of these gods that EloFishers have do have ridiculously strong single target damage. However, trying to make sure you can land that damage in a team fight scenario on a single target is very, very big ask, especially like you said, when you've not really got the amount of coordination in terms of how your combos really set themselves up. So Gold Fury been started again. Bugsy's late to the party. Frostek going to zone out. Sun Wukong goes onto his cloud. Going to look for the dive onto this. Is he going to find it? No, he is not. Exposed Secrets with another Gold Fury, and Bugsy's in trouble. No, he's not. That was his clone. Got excited.
Get away. The clone was in a lot of trouble, but the clone doesn't have feelings, so it's okay.
Now he's in trouble. I was right. Predicting.
Going for it. The taunt comes out here. Can't really go. The portal's on the ground. And the dunk from Paul on Giannis here, forcing him away. There goes the hit. I don't think portal's available right now, and it's forced to fight here. Thor's going to miss the ult. Turning it around. Bugs is there. Neath ultimate on Frostiak, forcing him down. Athena's on the ground as well. Jumping on top of Wolfie. Berserk Brothers comes out, and there he goes down into the ground. Oh, taunt on Flurry Q. He has a backflip available, so he should be okay. He's actually committed to the fight on Dazer here. Support from Bugsy, but it's a 2 versus 1 in the right lane. They are certainly understaffed.
Yeah, they understand. I mean, Zaylee's doing a great job of defending that tier 2 tower against the 2 members, and now they tried to make a trade Gold Fury for that right-hand side tier 1 tower and tier 2, but Zaylee going back made sure they didn't get the tier 2 tower, and now left-hand side tower goes down, so once again, Exposed Secrets continuing to push their gold and experience lead.
Again, we see another situation where Wolfie is using that portal aggressively, ended up getting himself into a lot of trouble and taken out immediately. You can see and feel the fear in his eyes when he gets jumped on and doesn't have a portal or threshold available. I mean, Janus just doesn't have the the extended mobility to be able to deal with multiple situations. Either he has a portal or he doesn't. In that situation, he didn't, and you could tell how frantic he was, knowing that he was surrounded with no portal available, no beads available. Everything was on cooldown. He had nowhere to go, and down he goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 combinations with the portal. The first one is put the portal underneath their feet and deal damage with the unstable vortex for the bonus damage of guaranteeing the double hit. However, if you don't find that or don't use it correctly, then you use the portal defensively and look to stay near walls and look for the opportunity to jump through, reposition yourself away from the fight, and use the threshold to speed yourself up away from combat.
Using the counter ward on top of the Fire Giant will be quite effective here. Dashing forward, Dazer's going to try and find Restarian maybe. There's the jump, there's the taunt, there's the hit. Bugsy's in the area. Hercules is zoning him out. Restarian looking for the commit. There's the stun possibility, but the leash is going to break. Earthbreaker going to be avoided there. Ooh, the kill on the left side. Fisher getting caught out without Freya. They didn't really have a whole lot of damage here, and now the rotation comes out in the mid lane.
Wall. On the left-hand side, Flurry Q's in trouble, has to use the Aegis to try and survive, but there is Barn alongside him just to secure it. Frostiak with yet another kill. The Exposed Secrets are in full control of this one now. Going to take away the red buff as well, just to deny even more in the jungle. I mean, just to point out as well, Dry Bear, like, I'm Dazer's being overlooked here, but he's having a fantastic game on that Athena.
Oh, absolutely. There goes the damage on the left side tower. Thor's up in the air, though. Will he go for Restarian? Will he go on the backside? The dunk comes out, doesn't land on anyone, forcing them back towards our Phoenix, but we'll keep them out. I mean, the fear of being dunked by Thor allows them a lot of room to do whatever they want there. Mitigate wounds popping up by Zalia. Watch Speed just fly off the charts. Yeah,
quite happy just to tank up that backdoor, the tower in the end with the lack of minions there. But everything's going so well for Exposed Secrets. Gold Fury's got a long time to respawn. They can start turning their attention now towards the Fire Giant. They are in control of this game, way ahead in terms of experience and gold. And if these fights continue, I mean, you know you're doing well as a team if Frostiak has managed to pick up a Hide of the Urchin on Thor.
Well, I mean that's kind of the bill. I mean that's just core for us. Yeah, can you just go in, or for any Thor player really? You always see Warrior Top Jotun's Height of the Urchin and then whatever they want to go for. It seems like he's just going full damage with that Titan's Bane finished off very shortly here. Nightmare is able to pick up Spear and then right into Polynomicon. So his single target burst is going to be off the charts here. We do see Dazer actually pick up the Magi's Blessing as well. So a lot of coverage across the way. Definitely. Definitely a very strong play. We have penetration on Janus, but he only has 2 items.
He does only have 2 items. He will do a lot of damage though if he does connect, but he's still only 2 items, as you say. He's got a little bit of lifesteal in there with that Bancrofts as well. And if he does get lower on HP, then it does increase his damage overall as well. So keep an eye on that. If Wolfie can get a great unstable vortex off on somebody, their health will chunk.
Oh, chunk it will, and that's what they have going for them, right? And given the fact that EloFishers doesn't really have a whole lot of team synergy with their picks, that all they're looking for is some kind of kill, single target, or something like that, or small skirmish. Oh, look at this! The
so
double stick
nice.
from behind. The taunt comes out. Shield wall dug. Thor Gitfisher gets erased.
Does now Restarian's in trouble. The wall connects, the double backwards and forwards from the hammer connects, and now Restarian has to use the afterlife to get back to tower range. But that fight there, what you saw was Frostiak zoned so nicely with Dazer to make sure people could not get involved in that fight and allowed the team to push in. Neith was across the other side of the map trying to get some farm, pushing that left hand lane, and they lost a tier 2 tower for it. This could be a fire giant as well now.
They're looking to head over there. The huge push coming out, very strong. And honestly, what can EloFishers do? They don't have, vision. They don't have map control. They don't have damage. They're already before the fire giant, 13,000 gold behind. Where did they go?
Bugsy's too early going in for this fire giant. It wasn't even available for him just now, and he's going to drop instantly from the whole team. That's going to be a fire giant. I was about to say Bugsy can make a play for this fire giant. If they can get that, they've still got an opportunity in this one, but giving it away like this, now Restarian's going in against the whole team. The rest of the team are not with him. He's going to drop too. I don't see any way out for him.
Restarian going away. That Sikkim doing so much, but Paul's not done yet. Going up in the air. Zalian's already looking for another fight here, jumping out, looking for Gitfisher. Paul gonna come down any second now. The dunk will come through. There goes the dunk. Up in the air he goes, but where will he be able to land?
Well, he's going to land straight to Armor Monster. Not going to connect though on the backside. Frostiak does connect onto Wolfie. He's going to drop. Gitfisher's back at the tower, chasing away as many members as he can. If he can keep running, he's going to delay them for a few seconds, but not long enough to probably save this game, as this is the last middle second tier tower left standing, and it'll be just down to Phoenix's.
Phoenix is all there is left standing, but looks like that's going to be nothing as they get completely pushed away here. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, and that is going to end it entirely. And what a great match it was for Exposed Secrets, showing everybody and the world what they can do, honestly.
Yeah,
and
really
look at this here. Let's look at the damage numbers. I mean, 23, 3, and 42 for Exposed Secrets. EloFishers just didn't have anything to bring to the table here, and so they're all good to go. Look at the numbers: 12, 0, and 5 on Thor, 2, 0, and 12 on Athena. Looking so sharp and so powerful. And honestly, again, I feel like a broken record here, but the picking stage was just not in favor of EloFishers.
I feel like Exposed Secrets won this during the picks and ban phase, honestly. I mean, first picking, I like Yardus, and I think he's very strong, but you can't leave Scylla on the table, not in the current form. That's one of the reasons hi-rez have actually tweaked her a little bit and throw a few nerfs on her this week, because she is very strong. The Osiris pick, totally agree with. However, I'm not sure about leaving Scylla open so long.
So, I mean, you look at the start, it seemed like it was going well for EloFishers, but then everything turned around in an instant, right? I mean, the Hunters were doing well, the mid lane was pretty tied, the junglers were doing all right, but that solo lane was just too much, and, given the fact that, it seemed like he wasn't able to deal with it. Let's look at Thor's play that really changed the whole game for everybody. Thor going to dunk the left side, there goes the hit, killing off Bugsy, but, he bought time for his team to get over there. There's a dunk from Apollo, cleared out immediately. Now look for the follow-up here on Freya. Freya not letting any shots, missing all of them, actually. No hit there, and she will be going out. And that's the power of Thor, right? Thor is a character that just needs penetration. He has a lot of damage in his kit, but if he gets any level of penetration early, he's very strong. And if you give him any kind of gold, he'll finish the Warrior Tabi early, get that penetration on it, high movement speed. Then of course after that he'll pick up Jotun's Wrath, and all of a sudden with CDR, full penetration, lots of damage, plus his passive adding more damage when he's next to gods. He does so much damage that all of a sudden you can't deal with him, and when you try to kill him, he flies away.
That's right, and now to top that one off as well, the good thing for Exposed Secrets is they're looking strong, Dryben. We've not been able to say that for a little while, honestly. They're going to face Cloud9 in the next round, who have just beaten My Revenge. And if they can take out Cloud9, which is a very big ask, then they're setting themselves up for a very good week and a potential of being yet another team to win SWC and EU.
Well, look in the games here. C9 has defeated My Revenge EU, moving on to face off against Exposed Secrets in the round of 8. Agilitas defeating 21st seed Tigers of Smite. I5 is still facing off against McLovins. T-Solo mid against Flying Daggers. Superbia and SK are going head to head right now. It looks like it's a pretty strong matchup. Worth is facing off against Heroes and Zeros. Big Boys and Bloody Tech are going head to head as well. And so we'll see how the round of 8 kind of comes together here. C9 versus EloFishers. EloFishers, I'm sorry, versus Exposed Secrets. Exposed Secrets really has something to prove this week. Again, the fact they're going up against the first seed Cloud9 HyperX. I'm excited to see what match is coming up next. We're going to cut to a brief break and we'll be right back with the continuation of week number 7 of the Smite World Championship regional qualifiers on the Europe side of things. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.